Hey, Georgie.
Hi.
Hi.
What's the matter?
My mother caught me.
Caught you doing what?
You know. I was alone.
You mean?
She caught you? Where?
I stopped by the house to drop the car off, and I went inside for a few minutes. Nobody was there. They're supposed to be working. My mother had a glamour magazine. I started leafing through it.
Glamour?
So one thing led to another.
So what did she do?
First she screams, "George, what are you doing? My God!" And it looked like she was gonna faint. She started clutching the wall, trying to hang on to it.
Man.
I didn't know whether to try and keep her from falling or zip up.
What did you do?
I zipped up.
So she fell?
Yeah. Well, I couldn't run over there the way I was.
No, I guess you couldn't.
I wouldn't think so.
Done that.
So she fell, and then she started screaming, "My back, my back!" So I picked her up. I took her to the hospital.
How is she?
She's in traction.
Okay, sorry.
It's not funny, Elaine.
I know, I'm fine.
Her back went out. She's got to be there for a couple of days. All she said on the way over in the car was, "Why, George, why?" I said, "Because it's there."
Glamour?
All right, I'll tell you this, though. I am never doing that again.
What? You mean in your mother's house or all together?
All together.
Oh, give me
yeah,
a break.
right.
Come on.
You don't think I can?
No chance.
You think you could?
Well, I know I could hold out longer than you.
Care to make it interesting?
Sure, how much?
$100?
You're on.
Wait a second. Count me in on this.
Yeah, you'll be out before we get the check.
I want to be in on this too.
Oh, no. That's all oranges. It's a
Why?
different
Why?
thing because you're a woman.
So what?
It's easier for a woman not to do it than a man. We have to do it. It's part of our lifestyle. It's like shaving.
Oh, that is such baloney. I shave my legs.
Not every day.
All right, look, you want to be in?
Yeah.
You got to give us odds. At least 2 to 1. You got to put up $200.
No, 1,000.
Now, I'll put up 150.
All right, you're in for 150.
Okay, 150.
All right, now, how are we going to monitor this thing?
Well, obviously, we all know each other very well. I'm sure we'll all feel comfortable within the confines of the honor system.
All right, come on. Get it?
There we go. Welcome to Spaghetti Junction Podcast. My name is Gareth. And we talk about things we just don't know where they're going to go. While you're doing that, I just need to reset my camera. Carry on.
Oh, well. So yeah, that was a cool way of introducing the
It's a great way of starting, isn't it?
topic for today. And I was just saying to Gareth before we started that I'd forgotten about this episode of Seinfeld, which I don't think I've watched the whole of, which I need to find because I've got Seinfeld, so I need to go and find that one.
Poor George.
To watch the whole thing. Yeah.
Poor George.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So yeah, that was just a walk on through. I guess we can start the way it is, but I didn't know. So starting with the original thing, which is Movember, which is all around, testicular cancer. Yes.
Yes.
Which is obviously quite a serious thing.
Definitely, yeah. So November has been the month of firstly Movember, where guys grow moustaches, and it's a terrible month, and I've never taken part in that.
Oh, I don't do November. I like my beard the way it is.
That's
And it
all
looks well done to people though who do that.
Yeah. I remember the church that I had, they had this competition. They'd like post photos of all the guys that were doing it. It was terrible.
Well, okay.
Yeah, so now, and then from there on, it was more of like a satirical thing, but then became quite a serious thing, and it became this what is now known every year as No Nut November.
Okay, no, it's not the. Now this is the thing. If you ask people, this in general,
Yeah.
like no one around me knows. I never knew about it.
Okay.
I think it's a. So I think that's a way. What's the word? That's a painting with a white brush.
Okay. All right.
Oh, sorry. That's just my view. I don't think
Okay.
it's very. I don't think it's as well known as. I think definitely people know about Movember, which makes sense. But this thing, I don't think people can write in the comments like no one does, but you're welcome to. I don't think it's as well known as you think it is. But that's just my guess.
All right.
Because I mean, when I had chatted with people here, it's like, no, who?
Oh, I see. Okay, that's interesting.
So maybe. Well, no. I'm just saying. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know how. Anyways, carry on. I am interested, in the sense to find out like how big it is. I just have never heard about it before. Not that I am the world, obviously, but
Okay.
people know Movember really well. That's the major one. And then I think this thing piggybacked off it, but Movember is way more known than the nuts thing, because everywhere where I am, it's Movember everywhere. I haven't seen anything or read anything online about a no nuts thing.
Okay. All right.
So maybe on your side of the world, and that's all right.
Yeah, that's okay. So basically, what it means is that it's a challenge amongst guys for the month of November to abstain from masturbation and ejaculation for the entire.
Are we
month
going
of
to talk
November.
about Movember though?
I wasn't.
I'm just throwing you a curveball.
You can chat about it because I didn't do anything about Movember.
I'm just throwing a curveball on this one.
Okay.
No. I know nothing crazy about it. But I was just, doing a read up. So yeah. So we are going to be talking about this triple N thing. Just the thing, obviously, with because I always get it wrong. Testicular, son of a testicular. Big words on this podcast.
Men's ball problems. Let's put it that way.
No, because it's not the balls that have the cancer, from what I know.
Actually, it's the testicles.
Oh, it's testicular. That's right, testiculars. What?
That's funny.
What's funny?
Nothing.
So what's so funny?
Yeah, it's guys' balls. And
Testiculars.
Yeah.
I was just testing you. It's you know what I was also thinking of prostate cancer as well. That's when they stick your finger up your bum.
Yes.
Which is sometimes more action than a lot of guys get sometimes. So it's good. Anyways, that is prostate cancer. Did you know that? Wow. And now I'm on the Movember website actually. And it's linked with men's health and all that kind of stuff. They're mentioning that, and I don't know if it's linked with testicular cancer, but they're saying that 60 men die by suicide every hour, and they're doing a thing where they're saying to like move with this mental health is running or walking 60 Ks over Movember, so like in your daily runs or your walking steps, whatever it is, their challenge is to walk, run, whatever. Well, not, I mean, you can't ride it, but the way, running or walking. And it doesn't obviously have to be, in like one long segment, because, I
Yeah.
mean, 60 kilometers. But they're saying, as like, pretty much like a remembrance kind of thing, of that happening is doing the 60 Ks over Movember.
Right.
That was just a, an interesting thing. And yeah. Anyways, there is a, a link, and this is the New Zealand one, but it's nz.movember.com, and it has a whole pile of really interesting factors and facts and stories and inspirational stuff going on. And so so we are going to have a laugh. Well, I'm going to have a laugh about this triple T thing. Triple N thing. But yeah, I just wanted to bring in the original thing for Movember is a lot more poignant than people not masturbating.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've got, I don't know if it happens in New Zealand, but I don't know if you remember here in South Africa, we have that Speedo run. I think it's called the cancer run. So it's guys do a run through Joburg wearing a purple Speedo. Only.
Running how far?
I'm not sure of the distance, but it's an actual event, and it's
Really?
it's to raise awareness of testicular and prostate cancer in men and stuff like that. So it's kind of similar to that challenge that you were just talking about.
And I'm sure that women will not mind that too much. Guys running around in a Speedo.
Depends what the guy looks like in just a Speedo, though.
Yeah, that's true. That's a valid point. That's a valid point.
Yeah, it's a fun thing, but it's also, I think because you've got to buy the special purple Speedo in order to wear, and I think proceeds from that.
Okay. Yes, and proceeds go to it. Yeah.
Go towards research and development and stuff like that regarding all that. I think that's got to do more with prostate cancer, but it's men's sexual health in general.
Men's sexual health, yeah.
Which is a very important aspect. So yeah,
absolutely. But I'm thinking for this this triple N thing, people should be running in blue Speedos, if you catch my drift.
Yeah, pretty much.
You did? All right, I'll leave it on to you now. I just wanted to mention that before we got all fun and games.
Okay, cool. No, that's great.
Carry on. All right, all yours. You can start us off.
So this whole practice and challenge
called what? No Nuts November.
No Nut November, and it's got its connections to what is called NoFap, which is the whole movement of guys not basically just abstaining from masturbation, and especially masturbation to porn. That's the big.
Why is it called FAP?
Because that's the slang term for masturbation.
FAP. Since when?
Since for quite a while.
Never heard that before.
Yeah.
Never heard that before.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's weird. That's just weird. It makes no sense. All right, carry on.
That's the internet, bro.
All right, that's just dumb. But anyways, carry on before I lose myself. Yes, carry on.
Anyway, so basically how this all started was there was a post, I think it was back in about 2011 or so, where a guy posted on the forum of bodybuilding.com, okay, and one of the world's biggest bodybuilding websites, about the fact that his girlfriend was leaving for the summer for 2 months, and she had specifically instructed him not to touch himself or do anything for 2 months while she was away. And so he goes and posts this, and obviously got a lot of response. Some guys going, "Yeah, man, do it. This is a cool challenge." People saying, "Nah, she's terrible. Leave her," whatever like that. And it became a bit of a challenge. It's like, okay, cool. Let's see how long I can actually last. My girlfriend's away for 2 months or whatever. I can't do anything. I can't get with other girls. I can't. Let's see. And it sort of snowballed from there.
But now, how did it snowball from 2 months to 1 month to November?
I don't know how it changed. I think maybe just through the course of people talking about it, they realized, okay, it became a name thing, and like, okay, fine, maybe 2 months is a little bit too much. Maybe let's try a month and see how it goes.
But now I'm wondering why November.
I think maybe it was just the alliteration of the letters. No, not November, kind of thing. Maybe it just worked.
Oh, okay. So it wasn't anything with wisdom. It was just, let's just bring up 3 names and make it happen. All right, fair enough.
Exactly right. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah. So yeah. It's a legit thing every year now, where guys sort of get onto this challenge of like, okay, cool. For the month of November, I'm going to see how long I can keep up with this challenge of maybe abstaining from masturbation and ejaculation. I think some guys, even within relationships and marriages, decide, okay, cool, they're going to have sex, but they're not going to let themselves go at the end of that.
Let themselves go.
Which I think is a bit of a stupid one, because I mean, you're there with your girl, might as well,
What? Let yourself go.
Exactly. I mean, it's
I don't understand. Let yourself go. You want to explain? I don't understand.
Ejaculate.
Oh, let yourself go. Okay.
There might be, So there you go. So, but I don't think that's. I think it's probably more a bit of a healthier practice for guys who like masturbate a lot, maybe, and they want to go, okay, cool, maybe it's time. Maybe I'm doing this a little bit too much. Maybe I want to just pull back from it and see how I feel.
Yeah.
Giving it a break for a time. And unfortunately, a lot of guys can get very extreme with it, and they go like 6 months or something without doing anything.
It's possible.
It is, yeah. But then, yeah, there are a lot of so-called health benefits that they talk about.
Supposedly. I've seen the other side, where I've seen the whole other side where it's like, actually, this whole medical thing is probably most of it's just balderdash.
Correct, because there are because not enough data exists to say, okay, that this is actually healthy, and a lot of times it can be detrimental to your health.
Yeah, and I actually think that sometimes it is more healthy. The endorphins. I was actually reading a site, which is like linked to a doctor was involved in this, and so let me. Who was speaking about blue speedos? Let me just explain that if people don't know what I'm trying to talk about. So she says that basically, that there was no reason to stop masturbating. Some of the reasons is this. She says, in reality, purposely not masturbating can be uncomfortable for most people. I hate these words. It sounds like I'm stupid, but I'm not stupid. I'm bloody intelligent with these words. Anyways, epididymal, I'll just go with that, hypertension, commonly referred to as blue balls, is a condition in which the testicles ache after being. By the way, if we're not monetized by now with all these sexual words we're saying, well, then we're good. Is a condition. Oh, I should have actually mentioned right at the beginning. This has sexual content in it. So if you've gone this far, good. Anyways, but basically, it's a medical condition in which the testicles ache after being aroused for too long without ejaculation, and she's saying that is often temporary and not dangerous. She said that when people intentionally try not to masturbate, they can tense the muscles in their pelvic floor, causing pain in their testicles, excessive urination, and constipation. Oh, my word. This has been researched too much, hasn't it? The condition called... Okay, now there's another condition. And this I can read fine. High-tone pelvic floor dysfunction.
Right.
Wow. High-tone pelvic floor dysfunction can become a cycle where anxiety from the condition actually makes the tension even worse.
Right.
And she says that when you masturbate and orgasm, your brain releases chemicals like oxytocin and dopamine, which makes you
Correct.
feel happy and relaxed. And a majority of participants in the study, both men and women, report to having better quality of sleep when they orgasm before bed. Not always true, but and then she's saying that another reason men shouldn't participate in this November is that ejaculating may reduce. Now this is interesting. Ejaculating may reduce a person's risk of prostate cancer.
Yes, that is a thing.
Yeah, you see.
And yeah, so we might this is the concern with the guys who take the whole thing too far, where it's like they might look, like we said, there hasn't been enough research yet, and I don't think they've been able to. The long-term effects are still not documented, but they could be putting themselves at risk, because it's a normal, it isn't, you remember, ejaculation is a normal body function, and when you prevent that from happening, I could see how that could have negative side effects on your health. So we did a podcast. It's our most viewed one on sex addiction. Yes.
And it's slightly linked to our conversation now.
Correct.
Where with some people involved with this, sex addiction and the groups you go to and so forth.
Correct.
Many have gotten to a point where one of the main reasons why they do masturbate is because of porn. Yes. And it's detrimental to you, for a whole pile of reasons. Yes. And there is quite a number that have said, you know what, I'm actually going to try and abstain from looking at porn, from masturbating to porn, because porn in itself skews sexual intimacy and views of sex, and it's just a horrid thing. But it's still easy to get hooked on, and I have struggled with that at times. Just being real with you. And it's so with them, and it's something that I've really tried to do, is that that looking at porn, to actually try and abstain and say, you know what, for the next month, I'm purposely not going to look at porn. Not because it's a no-nuts November. I mean, it can definitely align with my thoughts. Okay, cool. You know what? It's a great idea, or whatever idea, but for me, I'll use November and then see how much further I can get. So it is possible. Obviously, it's not for everybody, but I do know, within that conversation, it's like, okay, this is getting out of hand. How do we deal with this type of sexuality?
Yeah, no, correct. And that's where that abstinence thing, it could be a good thing. I just, maybe if someone especially has got an addiction to porn or whatever, to maybe start off with trying to do it for an entire month might actually be too difficult.
That's a lot. Exactly. So let's just say for the next 2 or 3 days, and then grow from that. Absolutely.
Correct. Yeah. And because we know that porn is such an overstimulation of your,
and it also is
those.
Yeah. Sorry, Nico.
It's just that extreme overstimulation of your brain's pleasure receptors, that we can know how addictive that is, and when coupled with masturbation, that's
Well, exactly, it's actually, and it's a big liar as well, as in that kind of stuff which you're looking at. That's it's look. I mean, that could be a whole other podcast, but So when you instill that into your brain and into your system, well, this is the only way that I'm going to get off. That's just super dangerous, and then it just spirals.
Yeah.
But sorry, we are meant to be talking about not November, but
no, it's cool. Just one more point on that. Just with the physiological aspect of it, you've got the added side effect of erectile dysfunction, and things just not working like they should. Because of that super normal.
Absolutely, dude. No. That is exactly correct. It does. Yeah. It does. It can do a lot of damage.
Yeah.
In relationships as well, obviously.
Definitely, that's and then it leads to lack of self-confidence, and it's a terrible spiral. So yeah. So anyway, so so this is where you get a lot of YouTube channels where guys are constantly talking about the supposed, I'm putting those in inverted commas,
Yeah.
supposed benefits of the whole nofap thing, which
What do you think?
I they do talk. So this is the list, okay,
Yeah,
of
yeah. Fire away.
supposed benefits.
Supposed, yeah.
Most of it is mental. So an increased confidence, self-control, an increase in testosterone, which we'll talk about just now.
Yeah.
More motivation, better memory and clarity, concentration, physical vitality, muscle growth, thicker hair, a deeper voice.
That's one thing. If that was really, really, really true, then I'll like every month I'll be trying. That's no hair. Yeah, whatever. Okay, carry on.
And improved sperm quality and that. But there are still, like I said, there are still not enough studies to show that these kind of benefits are absolutely are there and are actually true. What they do talk about, one guys that a lot of guys claim is that whole increase in testosterone. But the studies have found that after 7 no, what does happen though, which is very interesting, after 7 days, there is a spike. There is a noted spike in your testosterone.
Okay.
But then it comes back down to normal. So it's a bit of a, within 7 to 14 days, I think it's a bit of a spike, but then it does come down. So it doesn't it's like you're like suddenly like you're this freaking Viking after a month of not
super sapien, yeah.
But then what happens is that the testosterone actually gets lower as you don't do that. As you abstain more, your testosterone actually drops, which is a bad thing. We need a certain amount of testosterone in our systems. And apparently
what's interesting is that a few articles that I've been reading are actually saying that there's no grounds for that anyways, as in your testosterone gets higher. There's like no as you were saying, there's really no proper research that is actually saying, do you get more testosterone or less testosterone?
Correct. Yeah. So the studies,
that's one viewpoint.
Yeah. So it's a little bit of a spike after 7 days, but then it drops.
Okay.
It doesn't really.
And that's what the research that you've been reading. What's very hard, dude, is that YouTube has multiple things where it says, highly researched, that kind of thing. So it's very hard to kind of go with what's true. It's an interesting view, though.
Exactly. So I think I think there are much better ways for a guy to increase his testosterone than this. Getting in the gym is one thing. There's other ways that you can increase your testosterone levels, and this obviously doesn't work. So
yeah.
So we don't need to. It's not going to turn you into it's not going to turn you into King Leonidas after a month.
No. So okay. So November. Okay, you're obviously running around with a mustache, and there's a certain reason for it. What really is the major, so there's like a reason behind November and the mustache. Well, what have you read, or what do you think about actually like why is it actually something really like, what is the desired outcome? Like why are people? So I hear what you're saying, but like, what do you think is the higher percentage, as to why they do it?
I think it's just I think it's just a 30-day challenge to see how long you can get without how long you can go without masturbation and ejaculation. I don't think it's got any
But
more.
okay. But to me, there should be a reason behind it, not to say, I'm going to see if I can hold my breath, for like 30 minutes. Why? I don't know. I just want to say that I've held my breath for 30. No, obviously you can't. It's not a real example. But my point is, I mean, if that's the only reason, just to see if you can do it, then I think that it's missed the point, because then it's just then it's just like being a challenge as to, okay, next month I'm gonna, see what happens if I don't drink beer for 30, for like a month. It's like, so what is the full reason for it? If it's like a male, like, hey, look at me, I'm gonna, you can take on the challenge with me. Well, then it's not really much of a reason to do it. That's what otherwise then there should be, and I think what you were talking about is good. If there's reasons like it helps people to try and, not watch porn for a month, something beneficial, then absolutely. If it's a beneficial reason, then absolutely. But if you're just doing it to say to your mate, hey man, let's see if we can do 30 days without masturbation, bro. It's like, then you know what I mean? Then just don't add it to this No Nuts November thing. There should be a beneficial. What I'm trying to say is there should be a beneficial, reasoning to it, unless that's wrong.
No, exactly. I mean, it doesn't really raise awareness about any specific issues that men deal with. It is just a challenge, and I think,
well, to me though, I think on what you focus on, originally, as to like there are reasons behind why men do it. Then I think it's valid.
Yes,
so
exactly.
I would think that there are guys doing it not just because it's a challenge, but but it's actually something that they actually see some form of worth in doing it.
Yes, no, absolutely. Especially like we're saying, if there are guys that have issues with where it's become more of an addictive practice.
Yes, there we go.
And they're aware of their addictive practice, and they're aware that they need to do something about it.
Yeah.
Maybe they go, oh flip, maybe I should get mentally into the state of, for the month of November, I'm really going to try my hardest to just not do it.
Excuse the pun.
There we go.
Carry on.
But yeah, and so that's a good thing.
You're still there? I can see you.
Sorry, man.
Yeah, I can still see you.
So my computer made a funny noise. So
it's so good. Carry on. We have about 5 minutes left. Fire away.
Okay, cool. So yeah. So and then you do get, there have been reports from certain athletes, like boxers.
I was reading that too.
Boxers have been encouraged not to do anything for a week before the big fight, because apparently it depletes your energy.
But then the flip side of that, the boxers or football players are told to masturbate, because that then releases all the issues. So potato.
So there was actually a study of about 2,000 athletes, and they really did see no real negative effects on the athletes' performance. Maybe a little bit of an energy decrease, but nothing really overall that. If they like ejaculated the night before a race.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
Although I must tell you, if I've done anything that night, the next morning, if I try and go for a run, I'm useless. So if I know that I'm going to try and go for a run the next morning, nope, I'm not doing
it. No, not at all.
because otherwise my legs don't work.
Wow, alrighty then.
I'm serious. I feel horrible. If I don't, at least I go for a morning run and I've actually got energy.
You feel good about it. Fair enough.
So it does affect me, especially if I want to do a gym workout or a run the next day. So
Yeah.
So, but yeah, very very sort of interesting little sort of topic. And yeah, considering it was the month of November, I thought that was
Oh, I
quite
think it was a
cool
great
thing to
topic.
think about.
No, yeah. Because
Yeah,
I literally knew nothing about it.
yeah, it's interesting. It's maybe I'm just in maybe it's just the corner of the internet that I inhabit on a regular basis.
It can be either good or very dodgy. It depends. And we'll have to leave that
Yeah,
for a whole nother conversation.
absolutely. So anyway,
Well, that's good.
yeah.
Any thoughts? Any final thoughts for you? And then we'll say good day and good night.
Yeah, I think just like anything, there can be too much of a good thing, and possibly taking a break
Right.
from something that has become a bit of a habit is always a good thing, just to sort of reset things. But
Yeah,
be careful,
absolutely.
be careful that you don't take it to extremes, because it could have some negative effects on your health and your physiology and all of that. So,
It can be, but as I was
yeah,
saying near the beginning, it is possible.
yes,
Yeah.
yeah,
If it is with the right approach, mentally with the right
yes,
approach,
correct,
your ding dong will not fall off. You'll be okay.
correct. So,
You don't have to masturbate for. I mean, even like if you don't masturbate for 2 or 3 months, you're not going to die. Your balls aren't going to fall off.
no, no,
So yes, there are possibly some medical things and so forth, but I mean there are many men who just don't in general. It's just not
correct,
even a thing for them. So
correct.
but yeah, I hear you.
Yeah,
That was a very interesting topic. I won't lie. Excuse me while I stretch my legs. Well, thank you, Bruce.
well, thank you, Gareth.
I wanted to talk about, maybe not next week, but one of the weeks. We had a discussion episodes ago about Canada and their laws, and that they did a law about legal euthanasia. We
Correct.
discussed that. Well, it's in the news the last month or more, maybe, but they've recently passed a bill that allows almost any form of drugs available and legal. And it is screwing up a lot of the country. I've been watching a video or two, and and a guy goes to to like one of the areas, one of the towns, wherever it was in Canada, and it was like The Walking Dead. Like people
Really?
were just, oh, it was horrible. It was horrible. Just like the breaking down of humanity, it felt like, people were, and so I don't know any form of reasoning why it would benefit a country. So maybe that's a topic in the future, but it just, Canada, as we know, their laws, they're just way too open and pandering to, I don't know to who, to the relaxed demographics. It's like, yeah, no, sure, we'll now just allow people to have multitudes of drugs and, let it affect them and their family and their friends for the rest of their lives.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I think I think Canada is going to become a prime example of what happens to a country when they're too liberal.
That's the word I was actually looking for. Liberal, yeah.
Yeah, it's liberal, and certain amounts of freedoms are not always a bad thing, but there is such a thing as too much.
Absolutely.
And yeah, that sounds like an interesting topic. I wasn't aware of that law being passed, so I shall go and do some research.
So it's possible that Armageddon may actually begin in North America somewhere. The way that it's going.
I won't be surprised.
We're all doomed. Yeah, I know. You know what? Even the remotest thought of ever going there is gone. I don't want to. Not that they will care if I visit or not. Let's be honest, but
I think look, I'd still love to. I'd love to go back to America to visit. I'd love to see Canada to visit, but I'd never live there.
No. No,
I wouldn't. No. Mm-mm.
no. So that could be another topic, people. Stay tuned. You will
Sounds
see
like
it
an
happen. Sounds like an interesting conversation, doesn't it? Well,
Definitely, yeah.
well, hopefully this wasn't, well, I was going to say demonetized, but we're not even sponsors, so they can't demonetize something that isn't even monetized.
Yeah,
So-
I don't think so.
So, yeah, we'll be fine, whatever. We speak our
Yeah.
minds here, so. But I don't think I was going to say, I don't think we've had an episode where we, said ejaculation so many times, but, but there was the one on sex addiction, so it's probably close. But anyways, before time runs away, thank you.
All right. Thank you, guys. It's been a good episode. It was a good chat. And
Absolutely.
engage with us in the comments, chat to us, like, follow, subscribe, do all that stuff. And let us know in the comments if you are taking part in No Nut November, and if it's being beneficial to you, or if you just think it's a stupid practice, whatever. Let us know.
It's the pet. I agree, Bruce. Thanks all for being part of the ride. We'll see you
Awesome,
guys
guys.
next week.
Cheers, eh?
See you guys later. Bye.
Bye.